Thanks, Tom. Well, I think some people are going to love these mild temperatures, but get out and enjoy them now if you can. I know it's only 5:30 in the morning, but still get out and enjoy them while you can, because this southerly flow, it's not going to last forever. We do have it right now, but see those storms? They're tracking their way east. We're seeing a bit of a break. And once that second line goes through, that's it. We're done with the rain, but the winds really start to pick up. We're talking wind gusts up to 70 kilometers an hour throughout the day today, possibly even up towards 100 kilometers an hour down towards the Niagara region. The winds are going to shift direction, so temperature discrepancies between today and tomorrow are huge. Our temperatures are going to be dropping throughout the day. But Saturday, we'll see a little bit more in the way of sunshine, but the winds, they're going to be fairly brisk, coming in from more of a northerly, westerly direction. High pressure in place, so we should see some sunshine. And then Sunday, best day of the weekend by far. Sunshine, mild temperatures with that southerly flow. We're looking at 14 degrees. Monday, this system comes in for the Jays home opener. It looks as though it's going to be coming in kind of early afternoon. So you might get a little damp, but coming home you should be okay. Hi there, good morning. Thanks for joining us here on the Weather Network. It's Friday. It is April the 10th. I'm Emily Vukovic. Thunderstorms in the area right now, seeing some reports through Cambridge over, Kitchener over. But now that line has moved through Hamilton and through Mississauga, Milton. We're going to see them in Oakville in just probably a few seconds. First, let's take a look at the warnings before we get to that radar. Rainfall amounts, they're not incredibly significant. We're looking at an additional 5 to 10, but of course we could see more in thunderstorm activity. Here's Tom now with an update on your commute. Well, the wind is really going to be the bigger story throughout the day today. We've got winds sustained 50 to 60 kilometers an hour, gusts 70 to 80, widespread this afternoon. They are going to be coming in from more of a westerly direction, and that's where we're going to get our temperature cooling down. Tonight, they really ease. Still going to be fairly gusty tomorrow, but not as bad as today. And then by tomorrow evening, the winds will really ease completely, and that is when we're going to start to see much better conditions, much fairer conditions as we get into Sunday, certainly the better day of the weekend. I mean, we're going to see some sunshine on Saturday, but Sunday is certainly going to be a great day. Temperatures getting up to 14 degrees and nothing but beautiful sunshine for the GTA. Thanks, Tom. We'll start things off by taking a look at the watches and warnings. We've got that rainfall warning to the north and to the east, wind warning down towards the south in the St. Catharines area through Port Colborne and through parts of the Niagara region. Looking at the radar, Tom was just talking about the electricity this morning. Well, we're seeing thunderstorms move right through the west end of the GTA. Looks as though they're going to push towards the east end. And the good news about these thunderstorms, if there is any, is that it's really going to help clear out that fog and mist that you're seeing at the east end. It's going to really start to just kind of push that moisture out of there. Now, thunderstorm risk continues throughout the better part of the morning hours because there's still some lines down towards the United States. The winds are really going to start to pick up as soon as this rain moves out. We've got winds that are gusting up to about 35 to 40 kilometers an hour through Orangeville and Kitchener and through St. Catharines, gusting upwards of 50 kilometers an hour. Temperatures are going to stay mild. They will drop in certain areas kind of on and off throughout the day today. 10 degrees this morning, and we're looking at 11 this afternoon for Toronto and through Hamilton. But Orangeville, it's going to drop a couple of degrees. You're going to go from 13 to 9 because you're going to start to see that wind shift. So the closer you are to Lake Huron, the cooler your temperatures are going to be throughout the day today because you're going to have that lake breeze influence. 5 to 10 millimeters of rain. Still not out of the question, but the winds by this afternoon, they could be gusting 70 to 80.
This weather.
Good morning, I'm Emily Vukovic, taking a look at our active weather coverage. It's Friday, it is the 10th of April, and it really is starting to feel like spring. Not only because of our mild temperatures this morning, but because of the active weather that we're seeing. We've got wind warnings in place, we've got rainfall warnings in place. Stretching from Owen Sound through Barrie, Peterborough over towards Oshawa, still in the rainfall warning. Down through St. Catharines and through Niagara and Port Colborne. We do have that wind warning. Winds are really going to start to intensify. Here's a look at the radar, and you can see right now, west end of Toronto, we have thunderstorms moving through. We've seen reports through Milton, through Mississauga, right in through the downtown core. We're going to see those move through. But the good news about these thunderstorms, they're really going to help move out all that kind of mist and fog that you're seeing in the east end. Tom was just showing it on one of his traffic cameras. Here is our lightning data. So thunderstorms right through Toronto right now, reported at 5:50 a.m. So they're just tracking their way east. Isolated risk of thunderstorms throughout the morning hours. A couple of bands still down towards the United States. Winds are not incredibly intense right now, but they will be by this afternoon. We're looking at 10 degrees in Toronto, 12 in Hamilton. We're 13 in Orangeville. Watch the drop. The closer you are to Lake Huron, the more you're going to be impacted by those westerly winds, and that's why our temperatures are dropping to 9 through Orangeville. Well, meanwhile, in Toronto, we warm up to 11. It's not that big deal, but still, it's going to be a fairly pleasant but very windy afternoon. Rainfall amounts, we're not looking at anything too significant. I'll talk more about the winds in just a moment, but first, Tom, what's going on the roads? I do, and it's all about the wind today. We've got showers moving out and wind moving in. This cold front's going to move through, and we are going to see our winds intensify. Southerly flow to begin with, but then switching to a westerly wind, and that's going to help cool down the temperatures by this evening, through the overnight, and throughout the day tomorrow. The winds will ease throughout the day tomorrow. We are going to be seeing some sunshine, so not an awful day, but Sunday, I think, is definitely going to be the better day of the weekend. We've got sunshine in the forecast and temperatures getting up to 15 degrees. We stay mild throughout the day on Monday. We could see some afternoon showers, but not bad for the Jays home opener. Will the roof be open? Maybe. It'll be a game time decision, that's for sure. Mild temperatures continue right into next week. Hi there, I'm Emily Vukovic. It's Friday, it is April the 10th, and we are taking a look at active weather. We've got rain and wind, thunderstorms also being a big part of our story. The rainfall warning stretches up through Owen Sound. Barrie, you're included in this, as you are in Oshawa, down towards Port Colborne, in through St. Catharines, and through the Niagara region. That's where we're seeing that wind warning. We could have winds this afternoon gusting up to 100 to 110 kilometers an hour. Thunderstorms, we've been receiving a lot of calls on our storm line, a lot of tweets as well. You can tweet me at EmilyTWN if you want to report a little bit of active weather. We're seeing thunderstorms right through Mississauga, through Toronto, just on the doorstep through Pickering. That's going to continue for the next half an hour or so. This is a really good example of where that lightning is. This lightning data takes us right into 6 a.m. So quite a few strikes through Toronto. It was quite a light show on Tom's traffic cameras not that long ago. This morning, we do have that threat for non-severe isolated thunderstorms. The winds will really start to intensify. I know they're not that bad right now. Toronto, for example, 14 kilometers an hour. We've got gusts anywhere between 30 and 40 through Orangeville and Kitchener. It's really going to depend on how close you are to Lake Huron this afternoon for your temperatures to be dropping rapidly or not so much. Because we've got that lake breeze with those westerly winds, that's why Orangeville is going to go from 13 to 9 for this afternoon. Toronto actually bumps up a degree. A little bit of sunshine might help that out. Rainfall amounts, we're not looking at a ton. We could see an additional 5 millimeters, but of course we do see thunderstorms, which we are. Those rainfall amounts are going to go up. The wind, it is going to be so gusty, especially behind this cold front. We haven't reached that cold front yet, but the winds behind it going to be sustained at about 50 to 60 kilometers an hour, gusting 70 to 80, except for down towards the Niagara region. They'll ease tonight, and then throughout the day tomorrow they will ease, and then by Sunday we are looking at a fantastic forecast. We've got sunshine, temperatures into the double digits. It's really going to be a great day. So just hold on to today. Get through tomorrow, Sunday the better day. Here's Tom now with a preview of traffic. Hi there, good morning. Thanks for joining us here on the Weather Network. I'm Emily Vukovic. It's Friday, it is the 10th of April, and we've been dealing with a lot of active weather in the last little while. Yesterday and today, we've seen strong winds, we've seen rain, and we've seen thunderstorms. A good line moved through the Toronto area earlier this morning. We were seeing lots of lightning outside our Oakville studios, and that risk is just going to continue throughout the morning. By the afternoon, most of the system will have moved out. We'll be left with a little bit of rain, and we'll be left with incredibly strong winds. That's going to be our big story for today into tomorrow. Rainfall amounts, east end of Toronto, an additional 5 to 10 millimeters, less than 5 millimeters down towards the southern portion. But if we do see some more thunderstorm activity, of course, those rainfall amounts could go up. Wind is a huge story. I'm going to take a moment to explain this because we've got the cold front coming through later on this afternoon. The winds are going to be coming from the south for the most part. The closer you are to Lake Ontario, the less your temperatures are going to change. The closer you are to Lake Huron, the more your temperatures are going to change because the wind is going to shift direction. We're going to go from a southerly flow to more of a westerly flow. So that lake breeze is really going to have an impact on what your temperatures feel like this afternoon in through this evening. The winds will start to ease through the overnight, and tomorrow they're going to be brisk, coming in from more of a west-northwesterly direction. But Sunday is probably the best day of the weekend. And I do want to mention that the wind gusts today are going to be anywhere between 70 and 80 kilometers an hour widespread. Here's Tom now with an update on your morning commute. All right, thanks so much, Kevin. Yeah, it was incredible. I actually walked into our dressing room this morning and Nicole Karkic was sitting there. She said, "Oh, you don't have your winter jacket on." I said, "No, I'm wearing my rain jacket and my rain boots." Not that I could do it up to save my life, but I was still wearing it. Okay, here are the thunderstorms that Kevin was just mentioning. We're seeing them off towards the east end now, north of the city. I've been seeing some tweets from Markham and through Vaughan and through Pickering. Now, the lightning is going to taper off for the better part of the morning. I mean, this is going to be one of those very isolated issues as we get through the morning hours. Kevin was talking about the winds. Well, they're not great right now. They're gusting up to about 35, 36 kilometers an hour, but by this afternoon, that is when they're going to really intensify. Wind warnings through Welland and through southern Niagara region and through Niagara Falls, and we have rainfall warnings still in place for Barrie and in through Oshawa. I don't think those will stick around for too much longer. An additional 5 millimeters of rain. Of course, if we do see thunderstorm activity, that number is going to be going up. Our southerly wind is going to shift to a westerly wind. Sustained winds today, 50 to 60 kilometers an hour, gusting 70 to 80. They're going to be intense. So if you have stuff outside, bring it in. Bring in those Easter decorations if you haven't done so already. Temperatures this weekend, they're going to cool down for tomorrow with those westerly winds, but on Sunday, it looks like a beautiful day. Temperatures in the mid-teens and lots of sunshine. Here's Tom with a traffic preview. Hi there, good morning. Thanks for joining us on this Friday. It is April the 10th. I'm Emily Vukovic. We have seen some active weather through the GTA these last couple of days. Yesterday we saw rain and thunderstorm activity. This morning, similar story last night. I know a lot of people are kind of slowly getting out of bed and on their second cup of coffee. Rainfall warnings still in place through Barrie, through Oshawa, over through Pickering, down towards Welland and in through the Niagara region. We actually have a wind warning. Winds can be gusting later on this afternoon up to 110 kilometers an hour through that area. Now we've got Kevin Yard. He's joining us from the Island Airport. And Kevin, I know the winds are still pretty weak right now, and as it is, you're not seeing too much rain, so kind of now is the best time to get out and enjoy the warmth. Wind is a huge story for us today. Once that rain moves out, the winds really start to intensify, especially behind this cold front. They'll switch from a southerly flow to more of a westerly flow. And I'm just going to pause it here on the afternoon. This dark red means our winds are going to be sustained 50 to 60 kilometers an hour with gusts 70 to 80 kilometers an hour. So it is going to be very intense. And down towards the Niagara region, you saw that little flash of pink. That's showing that the winds are going to be sustained at 60 to 80 kilometers an hour, gusting to 100. Through the overnight, the winds really start to ease. Temperatures are going to be a little cooler tomorrow because we'll still have those brisk westerly winds. But by Sunday, things look fantastic. We've got temperatures that are warming up. We've got getting back into a southerly flow with that high pressure. We're looking at temperatures, well, around 15 degrees. Looks awesome, doesn't it? Monday we stay mild, but it looks as though we'll have some late today showers. Good morning. Thanks for joining us on this Friday. Wow, it's Friday already. The 10th of April. I'm Emily Vukovic. Time to take a look at the long-range forecast. We've got really, really good news, but also kind of some hiccups in between. So we'll start by showing you one of the hiccups. It's so mild today. Temperatures, yes, they're going to be dropping through the afternoon and through the evening. And then tomorrow, because we still have that brisk wind, we're going to be seeing cooler temperatures throughout southern Ontario, but not cold. We're looking at close to seasonal values. Daytime highs around 8, 9 degrees. We'll see some sunshine as well, which I think a lot of people will be happy about. By Sunday, hello, it is spring. This is the day that if you haven't taken down your Christmas decorations yet, or if you need to clean up your yard, you could do both because temperatures are going to be into the mid-teens. We've got a very light wind and lots of sunshine. It is going to be spectacular. Now, next week looks good. We've got warmer temperatures. We've got the push of warm air coming up from the south. So that is going to keep us very spring-like. We've got double-digit daytime highs pretty much all week. Now for Monday, we've got windy conditions, mild. We're going to see some scattered showers kind of mid to late day. Not great for the Jays home opener. Not that the roof is going to be open anyways, but getting to and from the game, bring an umbrella just in case. On Tuesday, we're looking at fair, mild conditions. This is going to be kind of almost a repeat of Sunday. And then Wednesday, Thursday, everything looks pretty good. The next big threat of rain is going to be coming in at the end of next week, but it's to be expected at this time of year. April showers, bring May flowers. We all know the saying. 9 degrees for tomorrow, so there's that kind of cool down from today. And then Sunday, 15. Stunning. Overnight lows are still going to be quite chilly. We still haven't kind of hit that mark where we're, you know, 10, 11 overnight yet. We're still in the kind of 2 to 6 degree range. April 19th to 25th. I really didn't want to get to this map. I kind of just wanted to skip it, but I have to tell you the truth. We are going to cool down, but don't think it's going to feel like February, because it's not. It is just going to be at or slightly below our seasonal average. But then after that, we do warm up into the month of May. Check out more around the world in 60-second videos at our website, theweathernetwork.com. I'm Emily Vukovic. It is Friday. It is the 10th of April, and we're talking active weather. We saw some yesterday, last night, and then again this morning. Thunderstorms were certainly a bit of an issue, but they seem now to track off towards the east end. I'll show you the radar in a second. We still have a rainfall warning through Barrie and in through Oshawa, through Pickering, in through Uxbridge, but that should ease throughout the day as this system tracks its way east and north. Here's a look at the radar. Just got a tweet from somebody in Port Hope saying, oh yeah, here it comes. Here comes the thunder. Yeah, first of the season. I think it finally means that spring has sprung. About 6:50, so you can see en route towards the Kingston area, east end of Lake Ontario. Winds starting to pick up. We're looking at wind gusts at about 30 to 35 kilometers an hour, and that is just going to intensify throughout the day. So Kevin Yard, lucky it's not going to be raining and windy, or your umbrella, I don't think it would stand a chance. Out goes the rain, in comes the wind. We've got this cold front that's going to be moving through later on this morning through the afternoon. The winds that are initially coming in from a southerly flow are going to shift to more of a westerly flow. So by this evening and through the overnight, temperatures dropping dramatically. We are going to be seeing the winds potentially gusting to about 100 kilometers an hour down towards the Niagara region. But for the most part, we're looking at sustained winds 50 to 60 with gusts 70 to 80 through much of the GTA. Tomorrow, we're still going to feel a little brisk, but temperatures will still be relatively close to seasonal. Good morning. Thanks for joining us here on the Weather Network. It's Friday. It is April the 10th. I'm Emily Vukovic. A little bit of active weather to start off with. We'll take a look at the watches and warnings that we have in place. We've got a wind warning down through Welland, through Niagara Falls, through southern Niagara region, and a rainfall warning up through Barrie, stretching over towards Oshawa. The radar, well, we're not seeing too many stormy conditions throughout Toronto and Mississauga and through Burlington anymore. The line has now moved off towards Port Hope, over towards the east end of Lake Ontario, kind of nearing the Kingston area. So you can see from the lightning data, not too many recent strikes. Most of it has now moved off towards the east. Temperatures and wind, they are certainly going to be a big story today. We're seeing sustained winds at about 26 kilometers an hour. Gusting to about 34 through Orangeville, gusting up to 52 kilometers an hour through St. Catharines. And as the morning goes on, because of the temperatures, because of the wind, because of the instability, there is still that risk we could see a few isolated thunderstorms. And rainfall amounts, they're not that impressive. We're looking at about an additional 5 to 10 millimeters east of the city, less than 5 millimeters. But of course, that number can always go up if we do see some thunderstorms. Now, this cold front is going to move its way through today, and it's going to help shift our winds. We've got winds that are from the southerly direction right now, changing to more of a westerly direction. The closer you are to Lake Huron, the cooler your temperatures will become in the afternoon. It's not going to happen for us so much until the evening. But take a look down towards the Niagara region. That pink means that your winds can be sustained at 60 kilometers an hour, gusting up to about 100 kilometers an hour. Generally speaking, throughout southern Ontario, 50 to 60 sustained and about 70 to 80 gusts consistently throughout the afternoon. Through the overnight, we will start to ease, and then throughout the day tomorrow, we've still got that brisk westerly wind, but we'll see some sunshine, which will be good news. Now, Sunday, that is probably the better day of the weekend. If you've been putting off taking down your Christmas lights or cleaning up your yard, you can do both on Sunday. Temperatures getting up to 15 degrees. Tons of sunshine, and then Monday, some late day showers, but still mild temperatures right into the middle of next week. Here's Tom now with a traffic preview. Your hair might get upset, or you might get upset because your hair is going to be ruined. I agree. Thanks, Kevin. We do have some warnings in place. Rainfall warning through Barrie, through Oshawa, and the wind warning down towards the Niagara region. Gusts 100 to 110 kilometers an hour. It's going to be intense. Here's a look at the radar. We're drying out, as Kevin was mentioning, but we still have those storms tracking to the east of Lake Ontario over towards kind of Kingston and through Brockville. Lightning data, shows that the storm's still over the lake, but for the most part, I think we're pretty much done through much of the GTA. Wind gusts, we've got them at about 30 kilometers an hour right now, 43 up through St. Catharines. They're just going to continue to intensify throughout the day. Throughout the morning hours, even though we're done for now, because of all the instability, I wouldn't be surprised if we saw a pop-up thunderstorm here or there. Rainfall amounts, less than 5 millimeters more expected today. But of course, yes, if we do see thunderstorms, that amount's going to go up. Wind, of course, is a huge story today because we're going to see sustained winds by this afternoon, 50 to 60 kilometers an hour with gusts 70 to 80 kilometers an hour, switching from a southerly wind to more of a westerly wind. So temperatures, they're going to feel kind of brisk through the overnight tonight, dropping to low single digits. And then tomorrow, they also kind of ease off in intensity. It's still going to be quite brisk tomorrow, a little bit of a wind, but we'll see a little bit of sunshine. And Sunday, much better day. We've got temperatures into the mid-teens, lots of sunshine and light wind. Here's Tom now with the traffic preview. Hi there, good morning. Thanks for joining us here at the Weather Network. I'm Emily Vukovic. It's Friday, it's April the 10th, and it just looks nasty outside our Oakville studios, doesn't it? Ugh, it looks wet, it looks cloudy, it looks stormy. We've seen some isolated thunderstorms so far this morning. I'll talk more about that and the wind coming up. But first, take a look at this must-see video. 3 survey teams to check out some of the damage. And in one town, it was complete devastation. One person lost their life and almost every single building was damaged. Luckily, we've got the barrier of the Great Lakes that help us out, and so the storms really weakened by the time they got to us. But we still have a rainfall warning for Barrie through Oshawa, wind along the shores of Lake Erie through the Niagara region. They're really picking up in intensity throughout the day today. The radar showing the storms tracking off toward the east. You can see the lightning data. It's not showing us much of anything, really. Winds, well, they're gusting up to about 46 kilometers an hour through St. Catharines, gusting to about 30 through Orangeville, Kitchener, and through the Hamilton area. Where Kevin Yard is joining us downtown. Kevin, what do the conditions feel like? I know this is kind of one of the mildest mornings that you've been out in so far this year. Thanks for joining us here on the Weather Network. I'm Emily Vukovic. It is Friday. It's April the 10th. Outside our Oakville studios, it's actually starting to brighten up a little bit. About 10 minutes ago, it was dark, dark, dark. But now we're starting to see things lighten up. We may even see a little sunshine today. Imagine that. All right, before we get to all of our forecast details, take a look at this must-see video. Illinois, particularly. 2 or 3 funnel clouds spotted. They sent out a bunch of survey crews, a lot of damage in many cities, and in one city in particular, and I think it's in Fairview, all the buildings were damaged. The city holds about 150 people. Very devastating. Fascinating, but devastating. Rainfall warning still in place for Barrie down towards Oshawa. Wind warning. We could see gusts up to 100 kilometers an hour through the Niagara region. The storms have tracked off towards our east for the most part, and the winds, they're not that big of a story yet, but they will be come this afternoon. Because of all the instability, we still could see some isolated thunderstorms, non-severe, and rainfall amounts, well, they're not going to be a lot. We're looking at less than 5 millimeters, and it's really going to be thunderstorm potential that could raise those numbers. All right, let's check in with Kevin. He joins us in downtown Toronto. And Kevin, conditions are pretty much lovely right now. It's this afternoon we have to worry about. Thanks, Kevin. And that is why we do have a wind warning down towards the Niagara region. We could see wind gusts of about 100 kilometers an hour. The rainfall warnings, they've been dropped through Barrie and Oshawa. That's good news. They track off towards the east, and that is exactly where all this active weather is headed. The winds, as Kevin was mentioning, they're certainly going to be intensifying throughout the day. Right now we're seeing gusts anywhere from, 30 to 40 kilometers an hour, depending on where you are. And we still have that risk of a few isolated thunderstorms in the forecast. They're going to be very, very isolated and non-severe in nature. Less than 5 millimeters of rain, of course. We do see a thunderstorm. Those amounts will probably go up. We are going to be seeing very strong southerly winds intensifying through the afternoon, and then they're going to switch to a more westerly direction, and then they're going to ease through the overnight and tomorrow. But because they're switching from a west kind of northwesterly direction, our temperatures are going to be dropping fairly significantly through the overnight, and by tomorrow morning it's actually going to feel like the minus single digits. But By tomorrow afternoon, we'll see a little bit of sunshine. Temperatures expected to get close to seasonal, but you're going to feel that brisk wind. Sunday is going to be the day to get outside and enjoy. We've got temperatures hitting about 15 degrees, lots of sunshine and little to no wind. Monday, we've got some late day showers moving in. Could be impacting travel a little bit if you're heading down to the Jays home opener. Behind that, we've got high pressure moving in for Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Looks great. Our next best chance for showers coming in on Friday, but temperatures staying at or slightly above seasonal average all week. Here's Tom now with a preview on traffic. All right, thanks so much, Kevin. Yeah, that's great news. The bad news is that, the winds are going to intensify. We still do have a wind warning down towards St. Catharines and through Niagara Falls and through Welland. We could see winds gusting to 100 kilometers an hour. Stormy weather has now tracked off toward the east. Winds gusting up to about 40 kilometers an hour, 50 up through St. Catharines. Slight risk of a few isolated thunderstorms throughout the region today, but non-severe, very, very isolated. Rainfall amounts, they're not incredibly impressive. We're seeing about less than 5 millimeters. Of course, that number could go up if we do see another thunderstorm. Winds, huge story. They're coming in from the south right now. They are going to intensify. We're going to see sustained 50 to 60 kilometers an hour with gusts up to 70, 80 kilometers an hour down towards the Niagara region. And I was mentioning 100 kilometer an hour, not out of the question. We've got wind shifting to more of a westerly direction, so temperatures are going to be cooling tonight and into tomorrow morning. It's actually going to feel like the low minus single digits. But by tomorrow afternoon, we will see a little bit more in the way of sunshine, so temperatures will be bumping up. We'll get to a daytime high of 9 degrees, but it's still going to be quite brisk with that wind. Sunday is the day to get out. We've got a daytime high of 15 degrees, high pressure, little to no wind. Monday, stay mild. We've got late day showers coming in, and then on Tuesday, another great day, 13 degrees with some sunshine. It looks as though we are going to stay into double-digit territory throughout next week, and our next best threat of rain coming in for the end of the week. Here's Tom with a preview on traffic. Hi there, good morning. Thanks for joining us. It is Friday. It's April the 10th. I'm Emily Vukovic. Tom Reynolds is going to be checking in with a traffic update in just a moment, and we're going to be checking in with Kevin Yard. But first, 2 or 3 were reported. They're sending out about 3 survey teams to check out the damage. Okay, now, before I jumped the gun and showed you the must-see video, let's take a look outside our Oakville studios. It is really clearing up nicely. We may see some blue sky today before those winds really intensify. This is down towards Niagara Falls and through the southern Niagara region and through Welland. We're going to see winds gusting to 100 kilometers an hour later on this afternoon. But for now, let's check in with Kevin. He's in Toronto. And Kevin, the conditions, not so bad right now. It's going to be strong. This afternoon, we're looking at sustained winds, 50 to 60 kilometers an hour, gusts 70 to 80 kilometers an hour. And then tonight, they will start to ease, but because they're coming in from the west, they're going to cool down our temperature. So by tomorrow morning, we're actually waking up to minus single digits. By tomorrow afternoon, bumping up to 9, seeing some sunshine. But if you're planning on getting out all this weekend, make sure it is Sunday. A gorgeous day. High pressure in place. We've got temperatures getting up to about 15 degrees with little to no wind. So make sure you're outside and enjoying some of that sunshine. Hi there. Thanks so much for joining us. I'm Emily Vukovic. You're watching the Weather Network. It's Friday. It is the 10th of April, and our forecast today, it's going to be very windy, and we'll talk about that coming up in just a few moments. But first, take a look at this must-see video. That's the damage. All right, we've got Kevin Yard. He is joining us in a harbor in Toronto, and Kevin, conditions are actually really quite pleasant right now. Thanks, Kevin. Now, this morning, we saw some active weather move through the GTA. The storms have now tracked off towards the east. And yeah, we still have a slight risk to see some isolated thunderstorms just because of the instability. But for the most part, I think we're going to be seeing a relatively dry afternoon. Less than 5 millimeters of rain, unless, of course, we do see some thunderstorm activity. Winds are going to be sustained 50 to 60 kilometers an hour with gusts 70 to 80. It is going to be a really windy day, and that wind is going to shift direction. We're starting with a southerly flow, and then it's going to shift to more of a westerly flow. So temperatures are really going to be cooling down by this evening, overnight, and by tomorrow morning, it's actually going to feel like the minus single digits. I know. But by tomorrow afternoon, we are going to be seeing some sunshine. Temperatures will be warming up closer to seasonal, but we're still going to be dealing with that brisk wind. If you want a nice day over the weekend, Sunday, that's the day you need to get out because it's going to be gorgeous. We've got 15 degrees, lots of sunshine. Monday we stay mild, but we could see some late day showers. Not great for the Jays home opener if you're traveling. And then for the rest of the week, not a bad forecast for Toronto. Hi there. Thanks so much for joining us here on the Weather Network. I'm Emily Vukovic. It is Friday. It is the 10th of April. We've seen some active weather in the GTA, and we've got more to talk about. But first, take a look at this. Now, we saw our own light show this morning with thunderstorms moving through the GTA as well as through the overnight last night. And yesterday we did see a couple of rumbles and a little shots of lightning here and there. Today, the rain moves out. The wind moves in. Wind is going to be a huge story for us. If you take a look at this legend, anywhere in kind of the red, I know these two colors don't match up perfectly, but 50 to 60 kilometer an hour sustained winds for us this afternoon. Down towards the Niagara region, see that little flash of pink? We do have a warning down in that area. Could see 60 and above. Sustained. Gusts possibly 100 to 110 kilometers an hour. Winds are shifting from a southerly flow to a westerly flow by this evening, so temperatures are going to be dropping. So tomorrow is going to be a little cooler. Now, we do have the winds still, well, they're going to be quite brisk throughout the day tomorrow, but we will see some sunshine. Temperatures hovering around the seasonal mark. So when we look at this pattern map, you think, oh, cooler? Well, it's not going to feel like February. Don't worry about that. But yes, we've got winds coming in from more of a northerly direction, so it is going to feel a little cool. But look at what we've got coming our way. This big ridge in the jet stream, it's going to be our turn in the next couple of days. So Saturday, brisk wind and cooler, but with some sunshine. By Sunday, it's an amazing day. We've got temperatures getting up to about 15 degrees. Spring is finally sprung. Tons of sunshine. Get out there, take down your Christmas lights, clean your yard. It's going to be a really great day for being outside. More good news is that next week, look at that ridge. It goes all the way north of Hudson Bay. So we're going to see a lot of warm air pushing in, which is really, really good news. Now for Monday, we do have a few showers in the forecast. System coming through. I don't think it's necessarily going to really impact the Jays home opener. Rain's going to be kind of in the middle of the day, so it could taper off into the evening. Bring an umbrella just in case, but the roof, regardless, is going to be closed anyways. Now for Tuesday, it's going to be kind of a repeat of Sunday. Fair, mild, lots of sunshine. Into Wednesday, temperatures stay double digits, but a little cooler. 12 degrees, 13 for Thursday, and rain by the end of the week. Incredible, isn't it? Thanks so much, Deb. I'm Emily Vukovic. Thank you for joining us here on the Weather Network. It is Friday. It is April the 10th. And before we get to all forecast details, let's take a look at this must-see video. Unless it's downtown and it's traffic lights. That's about it. Okay, we do have the potential for incredibly gusty conditions this afternoon. Feeling like -3. So things are really going to shift. Once this cold front goes through, we are going to be seeing incredibly strong winds. We're talking about sustained winds, 50 to 60 kilometers an hour through much of the GTA. Down towards the Niagara region, we're not surprised if they get upwards of 100 kilometers an hour. Those are going to be strong winds coming off of Erie. The winds are going to shift to more of a westerly direction, and that's going to help cool down our temperatures. In throughout the day tomorrow, it'll be fairly brisk, but at least temperatures are going to be reaching seasonal. We should hit around 9 degrees. And the rain, it's going to taper off. So not a bad weekend ahead. Little blip through the overnight, possibly Hamilton could see some showers, but really not much of anything. And then throughout the day tomorrow, like I was mentioning, we've got that brisk wind and temperatures a little bit cooler than today. And tomorrow morning is going to be cold, feeling like -3 until it warms up by the afternoon. We've got high pressure in place. That's going to be giving us some sunshine, and Sunday looks spectacular. We've got that warm southerly flow back in place again. Temperatures getting up to 15 degrees and tons of sunshine. Now for Monday, we do have some late day showers. Could impact your travel for the Jays home opener, but look at next week. We stay right into the double digits. Hi there, good morning. Thanks for joining us on the Weather Network. I'm Emily Vukovic. It's Friday. It is the 10th of April. Not a great day today. It's kind of gloomy, kind of windy, risk of thunderstorms, but I'll get to all those details in just a few moments. You can see why. Do you see the size of that funnel cloud? Incredible. Okay, here's our story. We've got wind, and it is going to be strong. We've got wind sustained 50 to 60 kilometers an hour this afternoon. It is going to be switching from a southerly flow to a more westerly flow, so temperatures are gradually going to be dropping throughout the day. The closer you are to Lake Huron, the quicker your temperatures will fall because you've got that lake breeze effect. So this afternoon down towards the Niagara region, the potential is there for gusts up to 100 kilometers an hour. Really intense coming off of Lake Erie. Now we are going to be seeing the winds start to ease through the overnight and in throughout the day tomorrow. They're still going to be fairly brisk, but we are going to be seeing some sunshine. So take a look at this. We've got this pattern map for tomorrow. We've got warm air on the way, but we're still kind of stuck in that trough. So we are going to see kind of cooler temperatures, but close to seasonal, about 9 degrees. We should be around 10 for this time of year. The wind is going to be quite cool, but then the winds die off and we're going to be seeing an absolutely gorgeous day on Sunday. So if you need to, you know, clean up all the dog mess in your yard or take down your Christmas lights or, you know, just kind of do some outdoor maintenance, Sunday is the perfect day to do it. And then next week, that mild trend continues. We're looking at double-digit highs all next week. Now, if you're heading to the Jays home opener on Monday evening, you might want to grab an umbrella. The dome, of course, is going to be closed regardless, but the rain showers could be coming in kind of late afternoon into the evening, so it may impact your travel. Fair and mild for Tuesday, kind of almost like a repeat of Sunday with just coolish temperatures, cooler temperatures, I should say, 13 degrees. And then we stay double digits. The next best threat for rain comes at the end of next week. And then unfortunately, I really don't like this map, but I have to show it to you. It is my job. April 19th to 25th, we're going to get kind of a brief shot of cooler weather from the north, but I was speaking to meteorologist Dr. Doug Gillam, and it looks as though the month of May will be nice and it will rebound. Hi there. Thanks so much for joining us this morning here on the Weather Network. I'm Emily Vukovic. It is Friday. It is April the 10th. And our forecast today is going to improve, but it is going to be very windy. I'll talk more about that coming up. But first, take a look at this must-see video. They're sending out survey teams today to check it out. I mean, it's fascinating to watch, but unfortunately devastating to hear about when people's homes have been destroyed and one person lost their life. All right, we're going to check in with Kevin Yard. He is in Toronto. And Kevin, overcast conditions, but it certainly looks a little bit brighter out there now than it did about an hour ago. Thanks, Kevin. Nice view. All right, today wind is our huge story, but this morning we saw some pretty decent active weather roll through. Thunderstorm. It's going to feel like -3. Oof, thanks a lot, westerly winds. Strong southerly flow throughout the day today, so we are going to be seeing sustained winds 50 to 60 kilometers an hour, gusting 70 to 80. Winds start to shift direction by this evening, and through the overnight they start to ease, but that brisk wind is going to continue throughout the day tomorrow. It's just not going to be as intense, but it is going to drop our temperatures to single digits again. So we're going to be cold in the morning, warming up to about 9 degrees by the afternoon. So not a bad day overall, a mix of sun and cloud. Sunday is the day you want to get out to enjoy. It is going to be absolutely gorgeous. We're looking at high pressure, lots of sunshine, temperatures in the teens. By Monday, we've got a system coming through, could bring us some late day showers, but pretty much all week long we stay into double-digit temperatures through the GTA.